Welcome to the Hardaway, aka the three-man jail and weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Boz, live on YouTube on a Thursday night after in my opinion, boring NBA trade deadline. We didn't have that many good moves, but we did have some moves for some NBA teams around the margins, I would say. So we are gonna spend today's episode talking about that. So if you are here, leave a like on the stream, comment in the live chat to join the discussion, and of course, subscribe to the channel. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket, providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, taking them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good?
Hey, what's happening? Like you said, it was a kind of a mediocre, mid, as you would, CBD type of trade deadline. But we're going to get into it, though. We're going to get into it. Passed over. I'm sorry. I said that's all I got.
We also got your favorite DJ's favorite GA, Sample Man himself from an undisclosed location, Mr. Sheedy Tuke.
What up? Gang. Nah, that's crazy. What's up, y'all? That's wild. Undisclosed location. I mean, who knows? Nah, it was good, y'all. Nah, this shit was a snooze fest, man.
Yeah.
Trade. I'm probably one of the worst trade deadlines I can think of. Even, I don't know, man. Even last year
was better. Right.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, very, very underwhelming. But I feel like the summertime is probably going to be a little bit more action once you see what the chips fall, especially for the Grizzlies, because, I mean, they're waiting on that draft pick, see where it is. But we'll get into it, man. But before we get into that, do want to get into some NBA trivia for the day. Tuke got us. What up, Tuke?
Of course I do, man. So, of course, with today being the NBA trade deadline, I want to ask you, gentlemen, if you know who is the player who's been traded the most amount of times.
Wow.
Again, what player has been traded the most amount of times? I actually got a top 10, but I want to know if you have the number one. So I give a couple hints, right? I give a couple hints because it's of course it could be anybody, well, not anybody, but so he got drafted at the age of 19. So he's a young one. He retired at the age of 36. So he had a nice long career. His last season was in 2021, 2022. So if y'all want more hints, that's like 5 push-ups or something. We'll talk about that later.
You know what's crazy? I was finna look up this same trivia, so I'm glad you did it. We on
that's why I'm here, brother. That is why I'm here. I'm telling you.
We're on the same wavelength, but I'm glad I didn't look it up though. Oh, you said drafted at 19. So you gotta be a high school freshman. I mean, high school kid or freshman college kid. I was gonna guess Kwame Brown, but you said 21, 22, so I can't be Kwame Brown.
Lou Williams.
And he did go to college.
No,
he went to college.
He went to college.
Yeah.
Traded the most.
So that means somebody wants him. So somebody wants this player all the time.
He's an NBA champion.
Ooh,
God, that ain't saying much.
Right, I'm like, okay, hold on. NBA champion.
Traded a lot of times.
Jeff T. No, okay.
Sheedy.
I tried. It wasn't Lou Williams because he's not a champion.
No. All right, I get it. This one should be a giveaway. He was once a Laker.
That don't help Savage.
Once a Laker, so 19 years old. It ain't Andrew Bynum because he retired a long time ago. Who's a young Laker?
I believe did he play? He did play with Bynum actually.
He played with Bynum. 19 years old, not Adam Morrison.
So we getting warmer now. I'm trying to help you so we can progress.
Bynum, sure, not Pal. Yeah. Mark Gasol?
Not Mark Gasol.
No, I just retired. Okay, shit.
Again, he won a champion. So giveaway again. Championship he won was in 2009.
2009. Okay, who on that roster with the Lakers? Okay,
yeah, that's the question.
All right, so not Derek Fisher, not Kobe, not Artest, not Powell, not Bynum, not Odom. Odom? No, not Odom. Not Farmar, not Sasha.
He was fairly young, but he did have an impact.
Fairly young.
Y'all missed him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Last play for 2022 season.
2009 roster. Who on that damn roster? Luke Walton? Not Luke Walton. Damn. Oh, he beat.
All right, last giveaway. He has the same first name as a gentleman who was also on the Let's Be Real game. That last giveaway.
Trevor Ariza?
Trevor Ariza, yes.
Wow. I went through everybody but Trevor Ariza. God, dog.
He had an impact. Trevor Ariza.
So that's a good point because like people want Trevor Ariza, 6'7", 6'8", wing defender, shooter. That's why I was like, somebody had to have wanted him because he went to Houston, New Orleans, Clippers, Lakers.
So a couple of them was like back to Houston, back to LA. So it was a bunch of them as well. But he was traded 9 times.
Damn.
Right, damn.
So and real quick, just to name this, so we got Chris Gatlin. Y'all probably never heard of him. Known for Dallas, and he was one of the first players to rock headbands. Black History Month. There we go. Dale Ellis, Marcus Camby, and let me see. So we got Marcus Camby and Sam Cassell, who was tied for like 7 games. And then I think it was like Luke Rittenauer and a couple other Joe Smith, Jim Jackson, Luke Rittenauer, Otis Thorpe, and Don McClain traded 7 times.
I feel
Otis Thorpe.
Right, all these names that I know from like the 90s. Damn. Okay. Well, Tuke, you did say it's Black History Month. It's also Mamba Day, man. And Kobe Bryant has they were saying that they were unveiling 3 statues today. They only unveiled one, and I'm gonna show that particular one right now. So here's the one that they unveiled to the viewing audience at the Staples Center. I don't know where it'll be positioned. Can y'all see that? Yeah. I don't know where it'll be positioned at Staples Center, but this is the first one of 3. So the first one is going to be, obviously, this is the number 8 Kobe with the 81 pose at the end of the game. They also say it'll be a 24 statue, and then also one with his daughter Gianna as well. So if you look at the details, they got like the championship at the bottom right there, and then they also have the stats at the bottom, the name, nickname, and there's a QR code attached to each of the statues where you can go in, scan it with your phone, and it'll show you highlights from that particular era of Kobe Bryant. So overall, it's a dope statue in my opinion. It's kind of crazy that Kobe won't be able to see his actual statue, but I mean, like I said, it is Black Mamba Day. They're honoring him by developing these statues. So just y'all's thoughts on what y'all see with this statue.
Man, it's will we ever see Kobe Bryant again? Like someone that was there for their franchise for 20 years.
20 years, man. At
one time was averaging 35 points a game, averaged, I think, like 25 points over his career. The man hurt his Achilles, broke his Achilles, tore his Achilles, and still made 2 free throws and then walked off the court.
Yep.
I don't know how to explain it. If you're not a fan of the Lakers, you're still a fan of Kobe Bryant and you respect Kobe Bryant. And I'm not a fan of the Lakers, but my respect for Kobe Bryant has always been deep. Second best shooting guard to ever play the game. And of course, Michael Jordan. To wield a team the way he did. When you go back, I'm sorry, I have to talk a little bit about Kobe, but
go ahead, man.
When you go back and look at some of those games that they won, even the playoff series, and who he was dragging to the playoffs, I mean, Lord have mercy. You talk about people getting traded. Trevor Ariza, I mean, he was playing with some traded lineups as well, and still making it competitive every game, day in and day out. Him and Phil Jackson, man. So. Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Phil Jackson too. He was there. A brainiac for Kobe to pick his brain as well. But there won't be another Kobe Bryant. So hopefully you all were able to enjoy Kobe while he was here. The same way I feel like you should enjoy other players as well. But today is all about Kobe Bryant. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And God rest him. Not even just him, GG, with the rest of those people that lost their lives on this day.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments just in life, period, was to be able to go by the crypto Staples Center and actually see all of the other statues that they have, like just right in front of the arena. So of course you got the Shaq actually dunking on the rim, and just like seeing that shit live was insane. It was like, how y'all get him to do that, first of all? But just Shaq wasn't the only one. Of course, they had a few others. They had like even a reporter like a couple steps away. So it's just one of those things where the Lakers have done a great job at recognizing the great players who came before them and who recognized their franchise. And you got Kobe, like you said, will it be another Kobe? I highly doubt it. 20 teams, 20 years on one team, literally, that's outstanding. And for you to have done what you did, not only with the Lakers, but just for the game of basketball as well. I mean, this is probably one of the highest honors outside of the Hall of Fame that you can get. So salute to Kobe Bryant, and I can't wait to see the rest of the statues.
Yeah, man, that's a good point too. This is one of the biggest honors you can get. Somebody building a freaking statue, bro. Like you are forever immortalized.
Immortal.
Physically immortalized. Like we know the game of Kobe Bryant, but to have like a physical statue, and not just one, but you got 3 of them, dog. Shaq got one. You mentioned the others. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got one. Magic got one. The announcer for the Lakers, he has one. But you're gonna have 3 of them outside of the house that they said you built, which he did. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing, man. Somebody that's been a lifelong Kobe fan, to see him immortalized, and of course him not being here is sad. But this is dope to see for the game of basketball. And like I said, everybody's, man, you might not have liked Kobe when he was here, but everybody damn sure respect that, man. So rest in peace, Kobe. Happy Mamba Day. Looking forward to seeing the rest of the Kobe Bryant statues coming up in the next couple of weeks. But the meat of today's show is the NBA trade deadline. And as we mentioned prior to the true start of the show, not a lot happened, gentlemen. I mean, we were expecting to see DeJounte Murray get moved, maybe Kyle Kuzma, maybe some other players to some notable franchises, and we really didn't get that much, man. I think the biggest deal of the day was 2 of the biggest deals was, one was like Buddy Hield getting traded to the 76ers. Another one was like Gordon Hayward getting traded to the Thunder. And then they had like others that nobody cared about, like Doug McDermott, who I didn't know still played, got traded to the Pacers again. And so some other pieces. But we'll get into it. This probably won't be a long show for those of y'all watching and listening, because like I said, not that much happened. But you can damn sure expect something to happen over the summer. At least I hope so. Anyway, so we're going to run through the trades from this trade deadline. And we are going to start with the first one that kind of got the ball rolling today. And that consisted of the 76ers trading for Buddy Hield, giving up Furkan Korkmaz, who was waived, Marcus Morris Sr., who has been traded for like damn near 10 times too. He might be the one in the trivia question next. A second-round pick, 3 second-round picks. So a lot of second-round picks getting tossed around. But the meat of this trade is the fact that Buddy Hield is no longer an Indiana Pacer, and he is now with the 76ers. So this is a two-sided deal, man, because Buddy Hield was part of that high-powered offense for Indiana, and now he's no longer there. So I'm assuming they've been putting in Mathurin into their starting role. But now Philadelphia, who is kind of reeling right now with, the iffiness about Embiid's injury, needing somebody to come help, with Tyrese Maxey with the scoring load. So what are y'all thoughts on this trade?
I felt at one point I felt like Buddy Hield was worth more than what he was traded for. To be honest, had some more suitors, but I think that's just, again, trading when they're hot. I think the ascension of other players on the Pacers have put Buddy Hield down a little bit more than his value. He will see maximum value with the 76ers. I mean, Embiid is out, so we have a lot of shot opportunities. Maxey is going to be more of a facilitator now. He doesn't have to put the scoring load on him per se. We're not even talking about Tobias Harris, so don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But Buddy, I want to see what this is like with a true lineup, like with Joel back, right? Does this space the floor more for Joel to do what he needs to do? Or do we leave too many people at the three-point line? Because we all know Joel likes to shoot the threes too. But overall, I love it for the for the 76ers. I actually love it for the Pacers too. I think also it secures Pascal Siakam more money as well if he wants to re-sign with the Pacers, which I think he should. That Buddy Hield contract is gone now, and now you can kind of focus in on that as well moving forward. So 2 parts to that deal, but 76ers, again, it's the Joel injury that I'm worried about, but Buddy Hield is here to score. He's going to give you about 20 for sure, and you might get 6 of those 3-pointers from him every game.
I think that the Sixers were one of the teams where if they made a deal, it'll be for the future. And what I mean by that is because they'll have a lot of money going into the summer, you can't possibly make a move for somebody that's going to put you in a hole so that you have financial, aspects to it. So it's like with Buddy Hill being on the team, you give Tyrese Maxey the backcourt mate that he'll need. You give Philadelphia more shooting. To answer your question, yes, it is definitely going to open up the floor for Joel, but I think unfortunately we'll be waiting till next season to see that. Like this is a meniscus tear. This isn't Joel's first or second meniscus tear. You know what I'm saying? So I know Sixers fans are trying to rush him back, and the Sixers organization probably trying to do the same. But this is third one. You got to shut it down for the rest of the season. No matter if he was going to be the MVP, you got to shut it down. But I think still coming into next season, I think the Sixers put themselves in a good position to, not only secure a backcourt mate for Maxey, which Buddy Hill, one of the best shooters in the league, will do. But now you get to go over the summer and say, okay, this works, who we need to go, ship over the summer in order for Joel to come back and be like, boom, we're the number one team in the East. So I like Buddy Hill being with the team.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, a perfect world for the Sixers would be getting Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine was about to get traded to Detroit, and he just said, "Hell nah, I'm sitting out and getting surgery." So in this case, you get the next best thing with Buddy Hield, and of course, Joel Embiid is hurt, and for some reason, people mad at your boy too. They mad at Daryl Morey. The Sixers fans, they hot right now.
Yeah, I'm hot at you too for calling him my boy, man. Shit, hey, man, hey, I'm trying to work on my piece.
You're right. But yeah, Sixers fans are mad because of, they feel like they could have got somebody better. But I mean, I don't think there's anybody else available for them to get because, I mean, clearly the Hawks weren't trading DeJounte Murray for the price that the Sixers probably could have got him for. The thing with Embiid, man, is I think Embiid is going to have to evolve his game to not play as if he's going for the MVP. And that's going to require Philadelphia to bring in players on his level. You already got Tyrese Maxey, who's an all-star this year. You need one more. And Buddy Hield's not an all-star at all, but he could be a piece if you decide to trade him to get somebody else, to bring in with Embiid. Embiid's game is going to have to change, kind of similar to how Shaq changed for D Wade in Miami. Shaq was used to dominating the ball. Like he get his 30 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, that's a good one, Shaq. That's a good one, Shaq. Like that's a real good comparison.
Yeah, because that was that second year, I think, in Miami or something like that, where Shaq took a step all the way back. He was still a good player.
Still MVP candidate. Yeah.
Right, still MVP candidate. But he knew, like, okay, in order for me for one, to win the NBA championship, to prolong my career, which he ended up doing. He hopped around the league a little bit. He had to take back his game. He couldn't just go to the paint, drop step, and dunk every single time. Like, he couldn't do that. So for Embiid, you can't dominate the ball and dribble, crossover, spin, do all those things because your knees can't handle it. It can't handle it when you're 30 years old. He's 30 years old now. He'd be 31 going into next year. And so I think Philadelphia is probably realizing that. And I think Embiid has to recognize that. That's why you see Joker, who cruises during the game. He's like, I'm gonna get 10 points, 15 assists, 10 rebounds. I'm not gonna do as much because I don't have to do as much. Embiid got to do the same thing. So hopefully this trade with Buddy Hield or for Buddy Hield is gonna help Joel Embiid figure that out. Because if not, I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for Philadelphia in the next 1 or 2 years if Embiid with the torn meniscus is trying to recover and then coming back to try to go hard as an MVP candidate. Can't do that, big fella. So I like the trade for both teams, but with Philly, it's going to be a long-term play for them. How does it look next year and 2 years from now during Tyrese Maxey's peak as an NBA player? Real quick, y'all, did y'all know that Buddy Hield is the leading scorer in his draft? Did y'all know that? So in his draft, in his draft is Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray, Sabonis. Who else is in here? Scroll down. Pascal Siakam, DeJounte Murray, and Malcolm Brogdon are all a part of his draft class. He is the leading scorer. Buddy Hield.
Like most points, not points.
Most points.
Makes sense. So.
Never would have. I ain't gonna lie. I would have guessed that one. Especially you got the highest paid player in the league on that list. Like, I wouldn't.
Yep.
He ain't playing like it, boy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So next deal, Gordon Hayward to Oklahoma City. The Charlotte Hornets, they gave up Davis Bertans, Trey Mann, some dude from Serbia that I don't know, and draft compensation for Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward's going to Oklahoma City Thunder. A lot of people were assuming that Gordon Hayward's arrival meant that Josh Giddey was on the way out, since Josh Giddey don't like staying away from high school girls. But Gordon Hayward is now Oklahoma City Thunder. One has to assume that he is going to be starting or playing a lot of minutes alongside Shea and Chet Holmgren. But what do y'all think about that trade?
No, my first question is going to be, when's the last time I even seen Gordon Hayward play basketball?
December 26th.
Day after Christmas.
Yep.
Wow. I don't know what's going on. Well, actually, I know what's going on in Charlotte. I think Charlotte's going through a fire sale. I think they're going to start putting more on Lonzo and Brandon. Brandon Miller's been playing excellent basketball. Basketball.
Yeah, he been losing me money. I ain't gonna even lie. I thought he was gonna be bombing out. He give me all that. I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah.
Salute, Brandon. Salute.
That's a dog. He dogged it. I like it for Gordon. I like for the Thunder. Last time we were on here, I wanted like some type of veteran for the Thunder. Savage and I were looking up stats for Gordon Hayward. We're like, dang, when was he in the playoffs? And he had an outrageous season with the Jazz one time. Talking about bringing some bums to the place and winning the series. But he hasn't. Maybe he's also preserving himself. Who knows? But hey, Trevor, you're on our trivia. But just it's like, what is he going to give besides that? Is my question. Can he still give you 15 a night? Probably so. I haven't seen since last year, quote unquote. But I like the veteran savviness that Gordon Hayward could possibly bring, because he actually has won at least a series or two. And like I said, the Hornets are just ready to rebuild around Lonzo and Brandon Miller, as they should. And not the other guy. I won't even mention his name.
What is Gordon Hayward's contract?
I'll look it up real quick,
because I'm gonna look it up myself as well.
Probably like a $30 million.
It's a player.
South of it.
This the last year, $31 million. So he's expiring.
Oh, good. Thank God. Okay, cool. Because he giving me Pimp Parson vibes.
A white small forward. I got you. I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Cool with, somewhat of a cool hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at him, he played 2019, 2020, 52 games, 2021, 44, 49, 50, 25 games this season. And again, the contract that y'all just read, he pimping in this thing.
I can't look. Before the show started, I was trying to figure out what's a Gordon Hayward highlight that you just remember, and like the one that I can remember, well, two of them, breaking his leg against Cleveland, and then the missed game winner against Duke in college. That's the only one I know. The only two that I know.
It's sad.
Pimping.
Empires, like first off, first original thought was like, okay, so you get a veteran, they get somebody that can actually, I think, to your point, Sheedy, bring up Josh Giddey, I think they could play together. But can he play? When is he gonna play? Like, golly, dude. Like, granted, like it's Charlotte, I wouldn't play there either. But he gets to a situation where he don't have to be the first, second, third, sometimes fourth option. He can really come off the bench and do what he do, which is what I prefer. Like, don't mess up the chemistry that the number one, number two team in the West already got. Come in, play your part, and actually play. That's it. But I actually it's one of my favorite moves if he actually plays. But if not, then like I said, I'm getting Pimp Parson vibes all over again for OKC.
I think in OKC's case, they just had money to spend, so you had to use it on not money but assets to spend to get somebody in like Gordon Hayward. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're the number one seed, if I remember correctly, right now, 1 or 2 seed right now. So having somebody that's a steady veteran in case these young players get in the playoffs and they get the yips, you got Gordon Hayward who's been there, done that, or at minimum could provide some type of leadership off the bench in a coaching sort of role. But yeah, he a pimp, man. That man a pimp. I do not know any Gordon Hayward highlights, which is crazy because Hayward is a hooper. Like if he's healthy and he's right, the man can hoop, but he just never been healthy or right. So it's just I gotta call it like it is. I don't think I like this trade for Oklahoma City, but I think they had to make the trade because they got to spend their assets at some point. And trade deadline, as we saw, nobody was really available. So you kind of got to take what you can get in this scenario. But I'm cool with it. Charlotte, I don't take Charlotte seriously until they win more than 30 games. Brandon Miller hooping, but Charlotte's just a bad city right now. I'm sorry too, but Charlotte's just a bad city right now for sports. It ain't looking too good right now.
Chill, man.
I'm sorry.
we going through some things right now. But you need to call out Charlotte. Charlotte gonna be on your ass. The baby gonna be on your ass. Really, I'm here for it.
Oh man. All right, next trade. This one is my favorite trade of the day. At least one of them for sure. Probably at the top of my list.
Next.
Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks to New York. So Detroit gets Ryan Arcidiacono, Malachi Flynn, Evan Fournier, and Quentin Grimes, who's partnered back up with Marcus Sasser with Detroit. 2 second-round picks. New York gets Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. Now, New York got a lot going on right now. Randall is hurt. OG, he has a procedure going on. I think it was his elbow or something like that. But he's out for, I think, at least 3 weeks before he can do basketball activities. But, I mean, Brunson looking like an MVP candidate, ladies and gentlemen. I know we kind of clowned him, or she kind of clowned him last year at the beginning of the podcast, but hey, man, New York look like a real team right now with Jalen Brunson. But now you're adding a kind of like a Joe Ingles kind of player in Bogdanovic to where he's slow as hell, left-handed. You can't really guard him, though, once he gets going. And then you add Alec Burks, who's like a two-way kind of player, to an already defensive team in New York. I love this trade because I feel like New York, they have a legitimate shot to make the NBA Finals, in my opinion. I think you can get Milwaukee. Philadelphia is down right now. You're a much more savvy team than Indiana. Miami, I mean, if it's Miami and New York, either one can get in if they play in a 7-game series. So New York, this is a really good move for New York, in my opinion. What y'all think?
I think this move makes it Celtics, Heat, Knicks. Like I already felt like the Knicks were kind of like right around the top 3 team in the Eastern Conference when it boils down to it. But now like these moves really solidify because like once everybody gets back healthy, they're going to be balling. And like you said, Jalen Brunson already been balling like an MVP. I just hope that they don't and I think he like injured himself last game, honestly. So hopefully it's not too bad, but I'm pretty sure he'll be in the All-Star game. But hopefully they don't overuse him until, Randall or, Mitchell get back. But once they get back, they'll be coming to somebody that literally is averaging 20, 21 points a game. And somebody, Alec Burks going back to the Knicks. So he already kind of feel like the Knicks culture, right? I don't think they would have sent it back if he wasn't feeling it. And Alec Burks, like you said, is average 2-way player, underrated offensively as well. But, culture player, 10, 15 minutes a game, do what needs to be done. And, of course, the Knicks love him then. So I think they'll love to have him back. But top 3 team. I've been saying it kind of all season, but now it's like the stamp. This move puts a stamp on them to be in the top 3 seed in the East for sure.
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry about that, fellas. But especially with the 76ers not being them there, who knows what's going to happen with the 76ers right now, right? You never know anything day to day. I think this definitely solidifies the Knicks. The Knicks should not be anything lower than a 4 seed by the time this is all said and done for the playoffs. I think, 76ers kind of got a little bit of a start, right? Whatever. But I like this trade better than I did like it for Buddy for the 76ers, just because of you're talking about coaching styles, you're talking about team. And I'm also thinking about like how the CBA is constructed, okay? And just really quickly, just run with me. The CBA is really for 2 star players, all-star, all-pro, whatever you want to say, and then you build a team kind of around that. When you're looking at a big 3, it's kind of harder to put money in places that you need and get the depth that you need. When you look at the Knicks lineup, when everything is ready to go, this team legitimately has a shot at looking at 2 different starting lineups, so to speak, with their bench. And I think their bench could actually beat the Detroit Pistons on any given day or the Wizards when it comes down to it. And so when you have something like that and you have Jalen Brunson playing the way he is, Julius Randle will be back. Mitchell Robinson is going to be observing the paint. OG is going to stop your best wing player. This is a great recipe. And when we talk about a lot of high octane offense, it's going to come down to the defense and Tom Thibodeau and what he's doing, as he always does. And he has a lot of defenders on his team to fit what he would like to see. So again, this Knicks team should not be anything lower than 4. I'm not even going lower than 3 almost at this point. I think the Boston is just kind of up there, and everyone else kind of just falls in line. Milwaukee may get there. Who knows? But the Knicks are definitely a top 3, to your point, to top 3 seed. But again, it shouldn't be anything less than 4, barring any other further injuries.
Yep, that's facts. I mean, like I said, we mentioned Josh Hart as a rebounding player, as a just do-it-all kind of player. They got a bunch of do-it-all players around Brunson, who's your main guy. Julius Randle's your number 2, and then you got OG as your number 3, who's like not an all-star, but a good enough player to where if one of those take a seat on the bench, he can go get 15, 20 points. So I'm loving it. I did pick Milwaukee to go to the finals at the beginning of the season, but I've been on New York since last July watching their moves, and I think this is just another good move, which is kind of surprising for New York, because it's been a while since New York has been a legitimate threat since y'all Sheedy, when they beat y'all in was it 99? Well, not 99, but 98, 97. I can't remember.
Please don't recall when Allen Houston hit that jumper in the back of the free throw line.
Yeah, that one.
We won't bring that back. Don't worry about that. That was it was a short season that season too, but
99. Yep, that's 99. Yep.
We're gonna discuss it.
All right. Speaking of Milwaukee, next trade is the Bucks get Pat Beverly. And I'm kind of surprised that Philadelphia gave him up for Chats campaign, Memphian campaign, in a second-round pick. I thought that Philadelphia liked Patrick Beverly. I think Patrick Beverly fit the culture of Philadelphia. I'm not sure what was going on there, because I feel like he played well enough with Philadelphia to stay there. To me, it was kind of like a move just to make a move. Cameron Payne is a poor man's Tyrese Maxey. So I don't a really poor man's Tyrese Maxey, to be honest. So I don't understand why. I don't understand the need to trade. But I know you got Buddy Hield. I know that. But it's still, to me, I feel like there was more value in Patrick Beverly being there for a playoff run, especially when you're without or potentially without Joel Embiid. And then you bring in Cameron Payne, who, let's be honest, Philadelphia has a short backcourt if you got Tyrese Maxey, Cameron Payne, and Melton off the bench. Buddy Hield is a 6'3" shooting guard, so you're really undersizing the backcourt. So I'm not a big fan of the trade. I think that Milwaukee benefits to some extent. They still trash with Coach Glenn Rivers, but I think Pat Beverly can only help with a guy like Giannis and Dame. And I know Pat Bev and Dame had a history, but hopefully they can get past it. But I like it for Milwaukee, and I hate it for Philadelphia.
I'm a Pat Bev fan. Y'all know that. I hate this move. And, of course, it's with the Bucks, so I just hate everything that they do. And then Darren Moore, don't get me started on him. So, I mean, but for me, it's like you trade a player like Pat Bev, and I don't care what people say about him. He is somebody that can push the needle as far as like energy for a championship winning team, right? Granted, he hadn't won one yet. I do anticipate him winning one at some point in his career, and I would love to see it. But you don't trade somebody like that unless you know for a fact that, hey, something ain't right with Joel, right? That's the only thing I can think of. And for 2, you traded to a rival. Y'all know, for me, basketball rule, that's a big no-no, because you can end up going against this player in the playoffs and they might actually beat you. Especially if, let's say, hypothetically, Bucks get up to a top 3 seed, Sixers fall to 6, 7. I mean, you got your matchup right there. At the same time, it's like anything that the Bucks do still gets negated, because look who they got coaching. So, I mean, you just bringing good, decent players around together. Of course, you got to get better defensively, but it's still the personnel. Like we talked about it on Let's Be Real. Would you rather have a defensive scheme or defensive players? I'd rather have a defensive scheme. They have no scheme. Pat Bev's still going to lock somebody down, but is he going to win the Bucks games in the future? I don't think so. So I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it was a bad move. Overall, I think the 76ers, and I've seen this since the trade for Terry Rozier, from Miami. What I mean by this is, Charlotte, naming y'all again, bought out the contract for Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry will return to Philadelphia, where he's from, and I don't know, spend the rest of this. He's on the buyout market. I think the 76ers have that ability to get him. I'd rather have him than Payne. And I know Lowry's not putting up outrageous numbers. I think maybe 8 points this season, but it's what he does in the playoffs that you would want him there for. And I think he has shown, it doesn't matter what season you put him out there, more than what you just traded for. Losing Pat Bev is crucial for the 76ers because, again, you don't know what they're doing. But again, to the point I was made earlier, the moves that have been made by the 76ers are for the future. I don't think they're for the now. Whatever happens to them in the playoffs is going to happen regardless, because they're going to put an asterisk by it. Whoa, Joel Embiid was hurt. Yeah, and you're right. You're absolutely right. He was hurt. But you still got to go out there and win the games. And so what does this mean for the Bucks? Nothing. Pat Bev is a great defender, but he's no Drew Holiday. He still doesn't fill that void. And he's not going to fill a scoring void either. I don't think he's going to go out there and score a bunch of points. So null and void trade, to be honest. But like I said, I think this all builds for the 76ers for the future. I think for the Bucks, it's kind of like getting ready to cap room. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on in Milwaukee. I thought I knew, but I'm over it with Milwaukee. Whatever y'all decide to do is what y'all decide to do at this point. But y'all can cut this season out, Milwaukee. Yeah, I'm done with it.
I said they knucking and bucking and ready. Hey, Travis, why you post that Knuckles trailer like that, man?
Hey,
I'm sorry.
They made the decision to play Nuck If You Book. First of all, shout out to Crime Mob for getting paid, because that's big money from Sonic the Hedgehog series. But they're getting paid. I mean, if Swag Surf can get paid, Nuck If You Book can get paid here.
They're just taking everything from us now.
Hey man, that's no. To be honest, that's wild. That song is in a kids movie. That's wild to me.
Like I see you post. I'm like, bro, this got to be a joke. They said no. Shout out to the Bucks, Shout
out to the Bucks, man. All right, next trade. Kind of, I guess not surprised if you've watched the Dallas Mavericks, because Grant Williams has been trash all year. The Hornets received Seth Curry. So he goes back to his dad saying Seth Curry and Grant Williams in a 2027 first round pick that's top 2 protected for PJ Washington and 2 second-round picks. We did on this podcast last week say that we figured that Jeremy Grant was a good option as like a 3-4 kind of player. Washington is kind of like a 4, sometimes 5 that can play down low for the Mavericks. I guess I like it. I think I would like it better if they had a more polished scorer. But Washington is a guy to get rebounds, catch lobs from Luka or Kyrie catching lobs now, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. And also, by the way, real quick, his shoes are nice. If you ain't seen his shoes, Kyrie's shoes are nice, man. So if you Kyrie back, man. He back with the shoe game. But yeah, this deal, PJ Washington to Dallas, I like it for Dallas. Grant Williams, I'm sorry, man. You out there to obscurity in Charlotte. Somebody might trade for him. Maybe Boston gets him back again, but it's tough sledding for him. But thoughts on Dallas getting PJ Washington?
Again, not a needle mover, you know what I mean? Like this, I'm cool on it. Like I just don't know how. Again, what is it? What would you call this? Like a top 5 of the draft of the trades. This is one of the top 5 trades of the whole day. PJ Washington.
He's good. He's a good role player.
No.
He is. He's
a good role player.
Again, and this is also me having to come to the grips of we're not going to see blockbuster deals done around this trade deadline anymore. This is kind of like what it is to me. I don't foresee this being anything different next year, to be honest. Again, not a needle mover. I think. But even when I talked about it last week, you talk about Jeremy Grant. I think we might even mention Kyle Kuzma. I know I mentioned Andrew Wiggins. The Mavericks don't need another scorer per se, because Luka and Kyrie are going to get it done or find a way to get you open regardless, because they're going to draw a double. So I guess he can catch a lob or two, but again, not a real needle mover to me, but glad it happened. Congratulations, Mavericks. And Charlotte and Grant and everybody else in Charlotte's web, enjoy the Brandon Miller show, sir. Because that's all you got.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually like a perfect way to call it, like Charlotte's web. They just stuck. Just why my Panthers so sorry. Anyway. Oh my goodness. No, I like it, man. PJ, he's a good role player, man. He'll fit in.
All right, I'm gonna run through some of these next trades because it's a bunch of nobodies. So Phoenix got Royce O'Neal. Cool, I guess. They did get David Roddy from the Grizzlies. Also cool, I guess. Roddy he been having a bad year, so nothing too crazy.
Speaking of the Grizzlies, I just want to throw out there has been a history of Grizzlies players being traded and their teams winning championships. Shout out to my guy X, went to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Roddy, who I guess Grizz player, Phoenix Suns. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Who was that? Marcus Gasol was the last one.
Mm-hmm. Who was? I don't know. Michael ain't one.
Michael. I can give James Posey, Mike. Not Mike
Posey. Miller.
Posey, Mike Miller, Tony Allen. No, Tony Allen came here champion. My bad. Yeah. It's everybody from that early rosters, early 2000s. Like shout out to the Heat. He was like, we get y'all. Jason Williams.
Damn,
come on, man.
Damn.
He definitely won one.
Come on.
With Battier, you right. With Battier. All right, but yeah, they ain't really get nobody else. I mean, the Grizzlies got back Yuta Watanabe, I guess, a shooter. They got Mr. Me Too and Chimeze Metu. Yeah, nothing else. Let me keep scrolling. Spencer Dinwiddie to Toronto for Dennis Schroeder and Thad Young. Shout out Thad Young, Mitchell High, legend, Memphis. And the Raptors are going to buy out Dinwiddie. So if you need a point guard, somebody you can pick up Spencer Dinwiddie. Maybe Phoenix. I said Phoenix for Spencer Dinwiddie because I feel like that'd be a nice fit as a combo guard.
No.
We'll you know where he's
What
going.
You mean no?
No.
What you mean no?
How many more combo guards they need? That's what you're going to ask?
They need more.
No, I don't want somebody that I'm always been the under on.
Bro, Dinwiddie is a hooper, bro.
Yes, a hooper that gets me more money than the under. I'm telling you, you could have bet the last 3 games.
You can bet the under with Phoenix. He's not gonna score with y'all. Well, not y'all, but like with Phoenix, he's not gonna score with KD.
He don't do nothing. Is what I'm telling you.
He's not. Put Brad Beal off the ball. Book gonna be off the ball. KD off the ball. Run Dinwiddie, Beal, Booker, KD, and whoever want to be in the middle. You can do that. I'm telling you. Dinwiddie can hoop, man. He can hoop. He's stuck in a freaking bad situation. What you want him to do?
Lakers.
He's not going to the Lakers.
Sure.
They don't need him. They don't need him with D-Lo. But I'm telling you,
say, bro.
Just get Dinwiddie. I'm telling you. Trust me.
Whatever you say. Yeah, get Dinwiddie on your ticket and bet the under, whatever you team me go for. That's
like I said, get Dinwiddie on your ticket. I mean, you can still bet the under. He's not scoring 10 points. He's going to give you about 7 points, about 6 assists, 6 rebounds. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Watch. Ooh, I can't wait. Don't let him go to Phoenix.
Gracious.
Don't let him go to Phoenix. All right, next trade. Daniel Gafford to Dallas. Nobody really cares about that. Let's see. Kelly Olynyk to Toronto. He from Toronto. That's cool. Otto Porter Jr. to Utah. Nobody cares. And I think that's all of them, man. You mentioned Xavier Tillman to Boston. I think that's a good fit for Xavier Tillman. Kind of like that, what's that, Robert Williams role, where he can come in, play solid defense, get rebounds, block some shots, maybe knock down a jump shot, because Lord knows he can't shoot a 3, but he be shooting them, so maybe he can knock down a jump shot. So, yeah, that is pretty much it from the major trades. Who do y'all think should have made a trade but didn't make a trade, or at least tried to make a trade? Because I didn't hear nothing about y'all Lakers. I heard nothing about the Lakers. I heard nothing about Atlanta.
Atlanta are my losers because you went through this situation and now you're going to go through it in the summer of these 2 point guards clashing heads. It don't make sense. Like I don't get it, bro. Like, granted, the players that the Lakers would have offered for Dejounte Murray, now that I think about it, I mean, they would have been guards and they play the same position. So, but still, I'm pretty sure somebody offered something for Dejounte Murray that the Hawks could have taken. But It is what it is.
I don't know any more losers. I mean, you got the Bulls who haven't made a trade since 2021. But who are they going to give up?
Bro, that's crazy. 3 years without making a trade. That was I saw that. I can't believe it. But I look back, I'm like, damn, these niggas really didn't make a trade since 2021, since the pandemic.
And was it Vucci? Probably was their last trade, maybe.
I think so.
I mean, this team is, I'm gonna say the Bulls. They are just stuck in this conundrum of we're going to keep these three. This is our core. This is what we're going to do. We're going to blah 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 blah, and you're still not even in the playoffs. And when I say playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, I mean top 6. 7 is not guaranteed. 8, 9, 10 are not guaranteed playoff spots. Those are play-in spots. The Bulls have consistently been a play-in team, and play-in team at best, excuse me. And I just don't see why you don't trade. I mean, I get it. Zach LaVine's contract, I don't know whose fault that is. I think it might be the Bulls who may have signed him to that contract. But he's not worth that. DeMar's got a fairly cheaper contract and is a better player, in my opinion. You got Vucci with his contract. They should have gotten rid of players. And here we are, and their owner, I believe, thinks they can do something and make a push. But with what? Like, you're not going to get anything with the buyout. People actually kind of wanted Andre Drummond. And you didn't go. You didn't press the button for him. And it's like, is it the asking price too high for him? What were you looking to get? I don't know. The Chicago Bulls do need to take a step back and reevaluate themselves, and that'll happen over the summer. And I don't believe you'll see the same team next season. I think Kobe White starts getting the reins a lot more. And maybe they look for a suitor for Alex Caruso, and they keep DeMar around, but it's over for the Bulls. They actually disappointed me the most.
I blame their fans
because of that situation.
I'm just gonna boo that old lady like that. Just have a heart. Golly.
I'm gonna do you one better, Sheedy. The loser of this trade deadline to me is the Brooklyn Nets. Like you literally could have gotten so much for Mikal Bridges. You could have gotten so much for Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, to all these players. Like them right now, it's just inconsequential. It's just like they have great players, but they don't have a great system at all. You're talking about like a defensive system. Their offensive system is just random. It's like whoever want to go off tonight, go ahead and go off tonight. And the Grizzlies were willing to give you up some damn good picks for Mikal Bridges. Like, I'm not saying that as a Grizzlies fan. I'm saying that as an NBA mind. Like, bro, they was going to give you 4 first-round picks. Some of them were owned by other teams who are about to be trash in the upcoming years. And y'all said, nah, I'm good. We're going to build around Mikal Bridges. Now, true enough, they're going to have some money to do some stuff. But what legitimate star player is going to come in and go to Brooklyn? Because you have to be a better player than Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is your third best kind of player. He's not – I thought he'll be an all-star this year. He's not an all-star player. He's just a really good upper tier – I don't want to call him a role player, but a good like star level player. Not an all-star, but a star level player. He cannot be your main guy. And what main guy is going to leave the situation, come join Brooklyn, and then be a life-changing player? I don't know. You might trade for that in the future, but you still got to coach the team up and make it happen. And Jacque Vaughn is a brother, but like it ain't looking good right now, man.
I kind of put the Nets and the Grizzlies into this like space of like playing like the identity for their city, right? So when you ask, why they didn't trade Mikal Bridges, I think it's because they actually do think of him as a cornerstone to their franchise. He's hard-nosed. He represents the city of Brooklyn. And he's just somebody that you can build. I'm not saying necessarily build around, but he's a good starting piece. Because if you look at like before the Nets got KD, like they had a nice system going of not so talented players over succeeding in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it's because they know, like, once you come to Brooklyn, we're going to play defense. We're going to lock you up. We're going to do what we got to do to win. And, of course, when KD and everybody else got there, they kind of lost that identity. So I think they kind of trying to get back to there. And I think, because you do turn down 4 first rounds, Mikal's going to be a part of the future. But that's a lot.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot, bro. Like I like Mikal, but I can't tell you what superstar player because like this thing, players get locked up now. They don't get you don't just go to free agency no more. Like you have to trade for these players, and they gotta want to go to your situation. And right now they're 20 and 30, and these dudes have full health, man. Like I don't count Ben Simmons no more. These dudes have full health, and they out here losing. Like they losing like legitimately with Dorian Finney-Smith, with Mikal Bridges, with a loaded roster. So I'm like, who's gonna come in and be a world-changing person right now? Like I'm trying to think what person is available. Maybe Donovan Mitchell. I can't see that being a ground-changing, life-changing thing for them. You know what I'm saying? Who else will be available? I don't know. I'm looking at teams. Like I don't know who else would be an available star right now. Now maybe down the road in the future, that's cool. But you could have gotten 4 first-round picks and do a soft reset and continue to build that Nets culture, while also saying we might get the guy Sarr this year in the draft. We might get Cooper Flagg in a couple of years. We might get Carlos Boozer's son, like somebody that's like a inspiring prospect more so than what you have right now. So Brooklyn's my loser. I think that they played their hand completely wrong going back from last year when the Grizzlies was willing to give up heaven and earth to get Mikal Bridges. But hey, we'll see how it plays out, man. It might be a different tune in a couple of months from now. But like I said, y'all, a very mid NBA trade deadline. Now we're getting into All-Star break for next week after the Super Bowl. So it's going to be a little bit more intense basketball coming up as we try to lobby for these couple of last spots in the play-in. So we are going to be back after the Super Bowl. So it'll be like, I guess, a week and a half when we come back. Because I mean, nobody watching basketball on Super Bowl Sunday. Y'all doing an episode Saturday too? Yes, it.
Yeah, we'll be recording. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we will have a Super Bowl edition of LBR this upcoming Saturday. I may or may not make an appearance. We'll see. I'll see if I can.
It's like you may or may not play 2K, but we were balling you the other day.
We was balling the other day. Don't trip, man.
Okay, I was about to check.
Okay, I get out there. Had to be.
Let me get off your back, man. No, we was hooping.
We was hooping, man. We was hooping. So, all right, y'all. Enjoy the Super Bowl. That's the LBR this upcoming Saturday, and we'll see y'all in about a week and a half, man. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.